Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and today it's a little bit late this week. I've tried to make a couple of live play videos, but they were, well, dull because I'm quite a dull player. So we're going to be reviewing basically just all the big pots, all the interesting pots I've played in the last few days, and I'm going to continue with this format going forward, I think. Maybe the occasional live play video if we can get a guest to join me. But it's mostly just going to be big pots. Some of them are going to be coolers. Some of them are just going to be spots where some wombats put his money in terrible. Sometimes they're going to be spots where I put my money in bad. And other times they're just going to be just interesting situations. It's going to be a mix of interesting situations, coolers, and morons doing moronic things. A lot of these hands won't be that memorable to me, so when we look at them again, hopefully I'll have some insightful things to say from time to time about how I would play them now, rather than like what my thoughts were at the time. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Please hit the like, the share, subscribe, all of those things. Let's try and get this video to 300 views in a week. That'd be lovely. That'd be evidence to me that the things I'm doing are popular with a niche of people, and that'll do for me. So anyways, this first hand, this Love Abbott, the tags don't work when you do the replayer. This player is a regular, and I think that's about it. The rest, as you can see by their stack sizes, and when you can see by this player's stack size, are probably not a good regular, given that they're, oh no, we are playing 2040. So yeah, this player's fully stacked. I thought it was 3060. So yeah, this player's a regular, the rest probably not. Oops, hang on. Just mute that because I recorded it yesterday when the wife was having the TV on. So we have the queens here. We have the obvious easy squeeze spot, which we take. I don't remember this sound. I reviewed it yesterday. So what the fuck's going on here, do we think? We've got... we'll ignore this person, that's irrelevant. We've got this regular, it's open small to like 2.2x, call, squeeze, just flat, and then a back raise all in from someone who we presume is official, although I don't remember them. I mean, we just go all in here, but what sort of hands are we expecting to see? I genuinely don't remember what hand this player had. Could be something completely lollable, or it could be a trap that I fall into. Thankfully, I don't remember, so it's going to be new to me. Well, not new, but newish to me. I mean, obviously, we're never folding. A little bit concerned this player could be setting a trap with like aces, kings, something like that, just flatting and letting this guy come in or whatever. I think it's unlikely, but it could be happening. But I think we just have like a really trivial jam here. There we go then. They just had the pocket fives. And I think you're going to see that quite a lot with these types of players, like these like relatively bad players. They try and see a flop with their small pair. They get priced out of seeing a flop, so they just give it a bit of YOLO and fire it in. Often you'll probably see them fold in these situations, but occasionally, or not just occasionally, with a decent frequency, you'll just see them say fuck it and spunk it all in. Next time we have a king and a queen. We're going to isolate a limper, I would hope. We do. This player is a whale up here. I know him well. Very loose. Very loose and bad. Let's see us do here. Raise probably. I think calling's not good enough. So we do raise. Turn. We had the flush draw. This guy min donks again. I think this is typical of just what bad players do when maybe they have a 5, maybe they've picked up a flush draw. Don't think they do this with like King X very often. Don't think they choose this side with a flush either. So at the minute, I think we've got this guy pretty much just drawing dead. If we raise, then what does he call with? You know, he probably folds a 5, Doesn't fold a king, but we get all the value we want from a king on the river anyway. Oh, well, the kings we beat anyway. He doesn't fold a flush. I don't think he has one. So what would he call with? Sorry, not what does he fold? If he's got like the naked ace of hearts or maybe the jack of hearts, he doesn't fold to a raise. But I think I like just calling here and then inducing some nonsense on the river. Or hope we try to induce some nonsense on the river. Or maybe he gets there with something and that's worse and we get to get paid off. He bombs the river, so this looks like at this point probably just has a full house. But he had pocket eights and he did what I mean, maybe if we raise a turn, he calls anyway because he has the eight of hearts. So maybe I remember after this hand, I was patting myself on the back, thinking, get in there. Our turn flat call has induced him to just spew his ring on the river. But maybe he would have called a raise anyway. I don't know, but yeah, we enjoyed that one, and that's the sort of thing you can expect to find on PP Poker. It's delightful. Maka is another known whale over limping because this guy 3-bets quite a bit in the big blind. I'd been trying to isolate sometimes and he'd been 3-betting a lot, so I just went to over limping to try and see flops with these two guys. This guy's just like a passive reg fish. This guy's mental. Flop a full house. Again, we just go with the slow play. And he just jams the turn. We have the easiest call, and yes, the 9-5. As you can see, this video is probably going to be more. Well, it's not. It's a blog of like how my results have been this week, but it's also doubles and serves as a really good advertisement for just how fucking crazy these games are. If you give yourself a chance to get involved with them. Here we have another whale. It'll be pink tagged if you're watching a live video. Magic Llama. We just call. We flop 2 pairs. He jams. We have the easiest of calls. And he shows up with a 7-9. So, again, it's not a huge pot. It's only 60 NL. So it's only like maybe, whatever, like a 25 big blind. Like super profitable call, but again, it's just more evidence that you're really going to find some remarkable games here. Now we lost that one; he rivered the 7, but who cares? Big deal. Again, we're back in with the same guy. Probably not too much longer later. We make a huge 3-bet with the aces. He doesn't give a fucking calls anyway. I think. If I was playing this hand again now, and I don't remember the outcome of this hand, I think I would either go for a against some players, maybe not against this guy, because even though he's just jammed that 7, I don't think he bluffs very often. I think he overplays and overvalues made hands. Not sure he bluffs that much. So against this particular player, maybe I'd just bet big, hope he caught a piece. But against lots of players here, I would just check and go for a check raise all in against this stack depth. But against this player, I'd probably rather see myself bet maybe like 12 and just have a really easy turn shove. What did I do? Oh, I just went for the straight jam. Oh no, did I go for it? What happened there? Oh no, I checked him. I did check. And he went with his, well, not really overplaying, I guess, too much. He has flopped really well with his exact hand. Again, same player again. Another weak play here. I guess we just go all in here, do we? Yep. We get it in against the A6. And we lose again. But again, it's the results are irrelevant. We all know that as experienced players. We all know results are completely irrelevant and just all you've seen me do so far is get my money in really good. We haven't won them all, but just don't think I've got it in bad yet in the video. And I rarely do, to be honest, without it sound like a big-headed cunt. So here we have a straddle, and then we have a weak regular, just completing or calling the straddle on the button. We go with the squeeze. He does this, and I wish it was this time last week, because this time last week I'd have been folding this. I am still trying to make, like, not pay these types of players off, but this to me are just like, what are you doing, sir? You know, look to me like we talked about earlier, like it's going to be like an underpair a lot of the time. Pocket sevens, pocket eights, pocket nines, pocket sixes, things like that. I just wasn't having it. I utterly despise paying this type of player off, and this guy off in particular, because he's just like, yeah. Well, a lot like the way I play, I guess. I mean, I think I play much better than him, but he's just looking to, like, make big hands and get paid off. He's not doing anything especially aggressive or creative. But as you can tell by the speed of my jam, there was no delay on this or anything. It was just like, I don't think there was anyway. Yeah, we just jammed pretty quickly. Sadly, we ran into the kings, and this was probably the most tilting hand of the week, I think, because I utterly despise, I probably hate it more than I hate ISIS, Donald Trump, and Boris Johnson all rolled into one. They were one big fat ball of shit. I would rather give that ball of shit something than give this piece of shit something. So yeah, this was quite tilting, as you can tell. Maybe I'm not quite over it yet. And I'd love to say there's a happy ending, but there isn't. So we have a min 3-bet here from another whale. This guy was playing, I think he's rocking at the high 40s or low 50s VPIP. He's obviously not a genius when he uses his sizing. We pop it up, I think. Yeah. I'd be mad not to. Then we get, the world's shittest flop. This is the shittest flop I've seen since I tried having sex after 12 pints. And believe me, that was a shit flop. So we didn't like the flop, but much like I did on that night when we had the shit flop, we still tried to proceed anyway. And much like that night where we had the shit flop, we tried to proceed anyway. Of course, it was it ended in a farcical disaster. And I guess the only thing that's comparable that's nice, like, is on that night years ago with the 12 pints where we had the shit flop. I didn't do my entire loading that night. Well, I didn't do my entire loading tonight. He left 1577 behind, because I think I probably would have paid him off. So yeah, full loads were not evacuated in either scenario. One of those is more pleasing than the other. But we did find a guy who would call a 4-bet with King 4 of Hearts, which is nice. Oh, right. This was the last hand of my session. This was like an afternoon session, and it had just gone tits up. We'd had that Queens. We'd had the couple of bits of variation with a couple of other players. And I think I had a morning session this day where I was up like $180. And then this afternoon session, well, it could go wrong. It had gone wrong. And I very rarely tilt, but at this point, the tilt was real. I was raging. I was annoyed. I'd seen like a morning's work. This session had only been maybe 40 minutes. And so an entire morning's work just wiped out through my not great play and running bad. And yeah, well, this happened. And we're going to need a vape to relive this again, because this is hands down my worst play of the week by quite a significant margin. This guy's just piled it all in. He hadn't been doing this whatsoever. And I was, by now, I was pretty steamed. And I don't do steam. Very rarely do I steam these days. I think it was this guy that had pissed me off the most. And he hadn't done anything wrong. He just played his kings. But I was still fucking raging from that. And I just went, fuck you. So we've gone from being the guy that's folding kings pre-flop, who's folding top set of aces on monotone flops, to being the guy that flicks in 60 bigs pre with king 10 of diamonds. But no one's perfect. And I didn't even, like, he gave me the chance to run it twice. And I was just like, no, fuck off. Not doing it. Yeah. Give me the chance to possibly escape. And I did not escape. So now we move on. We have two aces. This is the following session, the session the next day. The king 10 hand was literally the last hand of that session because I realised stop being a dick wrench. It's just someone getting it all in for 40 bigs with ace 4 off. Nothing much to see there, but come and join me on the clubs. We can get you in these games. Now, this hand was interesting. I remember this one. I only played this hand yesterday. So we've got the first decision point. There's some decision points in this hand. There's quite a lot of decision points in this hand, actually. So, don't remember this guy, but this guy was like a meh regular. This guy don't remember, but I'm presuming he's not that good because he's not playing fully stacked. So, first decision point is: do we? I think we never fold against someone who we think's bad. We assume he's never that strong. And I guess the question is: do we want to 4-bet and just try and isolate this guy? Probably can't get it in that great if we 4-bet, or do we just flat and not really care what this guy does? And I went with the flatting option. Eventually. And then this dude does this, which is like just weird. It's just very, very, very weird. Didn't understand it. Didn't know what was going on. But also we're getting like an absurd price. I mean, what do we have to do here? We have to call 12 into 41, so we're getting like 3.5 to 1 on a call. You need there less than 25% equity, so we can't go anywhere. We call, and we get that flop, and he bets, and I was kind of worried that he's just like slow play, or he's like doing something weird with kings, queens specifically, not really aces, because you know we block aces a little bit. And to be honest, I didn't like it very much, but I don't think there's any way we can contemplate folding top pair, top kicker in a 4-bet pot, even though he's now telling me he's got aces or kings. I just don't think there's just too much money in there to fold this hand against one opponent. And here pocket nines, which is an interesting way to play pocket nines, shall we say. This is going to look very standard. Shove turn, I guess. Just it's what does it turn up with? Yes, Jack. Yeah, that's really dull that hand, but it's a big pot we played, $141 pot, so it made the video. Ran it 3 times and we held 3 times. This guy is a fish. So we're never going to fold Jack 9 suited to this sort of player. Easy call against that size. Could consider raising, but against that size, against that player type, which is going to call and try and make our hand, which we do. Bets again. This time we have a slam double value raise. He calls, and then we get pretty crummy river, to be fair. I mean, he probably doesn't have a full house. I remember I played this hand now, and it worked out. But I don't think I like my line much. I think I should just bet here and then just like not fold. And if he's got a full house, good for him, or a bigger flush, good for him. Guess the way he's played it, he could have a 7. Seems unlikely, but he could have a 7 that's going to pay us off. I think I should just bet here, but I decided to get fancy and we checked. And then he did that. He just mashed the pot button. And how often are players bluffing in this spot? Probably not a lot. But, you know, can he have an ace, do this for value, or try and get me off a chop? Well, not for value, I guess, because, you know, there's no every worse ace chops with him that isn't like a full house. I didn't like it much, but I don't think I took a long time to call. And yeah, he turned up with the, let's just go back to enjoy that again. On the turn, he called a check raise with just 9-8, so he's just his 8 high flush draw. And then when he braked, he was considerate enough to blow money on us. And then these last 2 hands are just amusing as much as anything else. So this guy was a monster whale. We flopped the nuts. He overbets. We raise, because when fish overbet, they don't fold. He jams. We have the happiest call ever, and he's just limped aces and dumped 125 big blinds on us post flop in a limped pot, which is beautiful. And then this is the last hand of the video. Nothing much going on at the moment. Then we turn the nuts again. Again, he goes with the overbet. So again, we know he's not folding. So we raise. He can't pile it in quick enough. And he has the 10-4 offsuit. We run it twice, and he doesn't get there either time. So it's been a really good week, apart from like my afternoon tilt session, which we looked at earlier with the King 10 of diamonds culminating in that. It's been a pretty good week. I think I'm now for the month. I think I'm up around, I think it's around 1100. So we're on target. I set a target of trying to make like, I think it was 1400. So what is it now? The 24th of September. Probably got maybe 6 to 8 sessions left in me this month. So there's a reasonable chance I can achieve my, well, it wasn't really a financial goal. It was more like volume goals that would lead to hopefully a pleasant financial situation. It looks like we're on target for that. Who knows? Could still go either way, of course. I'm playing more 100-0 now, so we might get even further, because my expected earning and volume was based on me playing mostly 60-0. Well, now I'm playing a bit more 100-0 and 60-0 still too. And I do more table starting, just trying to get heads up versus Wales. So who knows? We know we could win another 600-700 in the next few days, or we could lose a few hundred. Who knows? But either way, it's been a good month. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not been particularly strat heavy, but hopefully it's been relatively entertaining for you guys. And yeah, any comments, questions, any attempts to contact me to join these clubs, all my details can be found beneath the video. Look forward to reading your comments. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, and goodbye for now.